Hello, everyone, and welcome to Spiritual Talks. Sorry we're late. Bit of a technical hitch, but we got here.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Paul. I'm back.
Yes, how was Portugal?
It was warm, mate. 28 every day. Pretty warm, and pretty cold coming back here, to be honest.
Yeah. If you're coming in, guys, if you're new to the show and you're coming in, don't forget to let StreamYard have your permission so we can see your name coming up in the messages here. Hi, Lou and Paul. Hi, guys. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Andy.
Oh, we got Michelle from Australia.
Yeah, hi from Australia. Brilliant. Hi, Serena, and hi, Lou, and hi, Julie.
And Sean as well. Sean just popped on. Hi, guys. Great for everyone to be here in this little corner of what we call Spiritual Talk, the little world that we've created here. We really do appreciate people coming in to watch us. And also, guys, you probably noticed the new intro. All of some of the wonderful guests that we've had on here and the information they share. And it's going to be the same tonight. We've got a fabulous guest tonight, mate, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. And very popular as well. And her name's Alison Ward. So maybe a lot of people have heard of that name. Very well known with books and also being on interview on Sky TV and other programs as well. So definitely looking forward to this. I don't know about you two, mate, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get Alison in now. Say hi to her. Hi, Alison.
Hello, both. Hiya.
Hi, Alison.
Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Do appreciate it. So you've got a special story to share. I don't want to say special because leading up to the special bit is not particularly special. So I've dug myself in a big hole. Now I'm trying to dig myself out, Alison. So would you share, please, your story, please?
Yeah. But you know what? That's absolutely okay because I talk about my story as being the beautiful gift in the ugly box.
That's interesting.
Which is, so I was in an abusive relationship and I left that abusive relationship with my 2-year-old son back in 1994. I set up a new home for myself and I met my now husband, who I've been with 28 years. And when we got together, before we got together, he'd organised a bike trip around Europe with his friend for 10 weeks. And, you know, I said, please still go and enjoy it. I just wanted to enjoy, you know, getting used to my new life on my own with my little boy. And my ex found out about me seeing someone new and he didn't want anyone else to have me. So his words, not mine. So on the first day that Wayne, my husband, went to Europe on his motorbike with his friend, there was a knock at the door at tea time and it was my ex. And he said he'd come to talk about access to our son. So I let him in and he came into our little living room and then he stood in front of me and he said, today's the day you're going to die. I've planned it all. And with that, he got a knife out of his back pocket, head-butted me, straddled me into the corner of a room and proceeded to stab me and beat me up in front of my little 2-year-old boy, who was incredibly, incredibly brave. He tried to stop it by jumping on his back, by bringing me my glasses that I used to watch the TV and to drive, by bringing his little dressing gown thing that he used to put in his eye to get himself to sleep, to comfort him. And nothing worked. And during the attack, it was, as you can imagine, it was absolutely awful and extremely frightening.
Yeah.
And then I felt myself leave my body, literally, like a corkscrew coming out of a bottle. I just left my body. And as I left my body, I just became energy. That's the easiest way of explaining it. Yet I was aware that I had hair because my hair was being pushed back as I was traveling at speed towards this incredibly bright light. Now, when I was going towards this bright light, or was this bright light coming towards me, it was hard to say. I could look straight at it and it didn't hurt my eyes. But also at the same time, I wasn't in any physical pain. I wasn't scared. I wasn't worried about my son. I was totally at peace and I felt totally surrounded by love. I had no worries, no fears. I wasn't aware of any injuries, even though I clearly was injured. And then as I was traveling at speed, I saw this triangle of people. And the point of the triangle was standing my granddad called Sam, who my son was named after. And he'd been past quite a few years. And he looked fantastic. And I was so pleased to see him. And I knew the other people, but I didn't have memory from this lifetime, but I knew them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I recognise them, soul to soul, recognise them. I'm trying not to get pulled by the comments because I want to stay in the focus. It's such an amazing story.
Yeah.
So as I was moving towards my granddad and seeing all these people and feeling this immense love, I heard a very old-fashioned Birmingham voice say, "It's not time to go yet, duck." And then I just literally went back into my body, saw what a bloody mess I was. I mean, the whole place was a mess. And I noticed that I was different. And I very calmly said to my ex, "What would your mom do if she saw you doing this to me and Sam?"
Yeah.
And with that, he let out the noise of an animal, really, a sort of a whining noise. And as he let out the noise, he leant back and I somehow jumped over him. The police found that really hard to understand because one of my injuries was in my leg, because I pulled my leg up to my chest to protect my chest because he was stabbing at my chest.
Yeah.
So as I pulled my leg up, there was a big wound in my leg. So the fact that I could jump over him was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I ran towards the door. I was in fight or flight. He was grabbing at my hair, and there was handfuls of my hair all down the hall. I was able to scramble out the door, ran to the corner where there was a shop, and asked them to call the police. I left Sam in the house, which for years I struggled with. He then took him in a car, and he was later found by the police holding onto Sam with fumes filling the created by putting into the exhaust. And the police got, this is when miracles started happening. So the first miracle was that I managed to get out, because it was pretty incredible that I was able to get out. The second miracle was that this happened in rush hour traffic around 6 o'clock time on a busy Tuesday, about 5 miles from the centre of Birmingham. And he was driving down the wrong side of the road at rush hour traffic, and they weren't killed. An off-duty policewoman, rather than responding to the call out, decided that she was just going to sit and say, "If I thought I'd killed my ex, where would I go to kill myself?" And she, on instinct, she went to this tiny little hideaway that he was. And a member of the public basically said, "He's in there and he's trying to kill his son." So the police got there just in time, because Sam's back was arching, which means that he was having too much carbon monoxide. So they smashed the window, took Sam out, arrested Graham. I am able to say his name. I write about it in my books, and I am able to say that because he has been convicted of it, just in case anyone's a bit worried about that legally.
Good.
I've been through this before, so I know all this. So he was arrested and charged with 2 counts of attempted murder, and it took about 30 months to come to court. Meanwhile, we both had PTSD, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And that's when the story really continues. So that's the amazing story that led to my beautiful gift in the ugly box.
Can I ask the obvious question, Alison? I'm so sorry. How is your son today?
Well, interestingly, when the vaccines were out, Sam was unable to have the vaccine. He kept trying to have the vaccine. He couldn't have it. And I said to him, "You've got a needle phobia." And he said, "No, I haven't." He's 30 now. "No, I haven't, Mum." I said, "I'm telling you, you've got that because you saw your mum being stabbed." He then worked for a company that gave him Bupa, and he's been having treatment, and he's actually been diagnosed with chronic PTSD 28 years later, which is really sad and upsetting.
Yeah.
But he's getting some really fantastic help now, and he believes he's turned a corner, and he's helping me write my next book called Men Talk Health, which is a compilation of men's mental health stories and how they overcame them. So he's an inspiration.
Well, you've written many books as well.
This will be book number 7.
Okay. So can we just quickly go through the books as well, because there's a lot of self-help there for people.
Oh, yeah. So I probably need to do a little bit more background before we go to that, because then it would make sense more wide. So So basically, I had PTSD, and with PTSD, you get terrible flashbacks. You are woken up at night with flashbacks and memories. You become very hypervigilant and hypersensitive. And my trigger is if I don't feel safe, I will get hypervigilant to that heightened state of fight or flight. And the help at the time, back in 94 when it happened, it wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. And I was really, really desperate. And then by this time, I was married with to my husband now, or at least living together. I'm a bit blurry with the time span at that time because of how poorly I was. Yeah. But I remember one night going to bed thinking it would be better for him to meet someone else. It would be better if I wasn't here, because I was trying to mask to both of my boys and my husband this horribleness that I was feeling. I just felt dreadful, and mentally I don't know how I was coping. And by this time we had a little boy as well, so you know, I was really not in a good place. So I was planning how I was going to kill myself, and I eventually got to sleep. In the early hours I was woken up by flashbacks and memories through dreams and night terrors. Now normally my husband wakes up and would get me a glass of water to calm me down, and then normally Sam would wake up after that and I'd have to go and calm him down, and this went on for about 2 years, I reckon. This time he didn't wake up. So the flashback was continuing and getting to the part that I didn't really want to remember. And I remember just being, the mental and emotional pain was just almost too much to bear. It was just, I can't even put it into words. It was just awful. I was broken. I was shattered. And then at the side of my bed, I can only describe her as an angel because that's what she looked like to me. This being appeared next to me, and she was the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. She had long, silky blonde hair, the most wonderful, beautiful face with blue eyes that were just so pure. She didn't have any lines on her face, and she just directly looked me eye to eye, started stroking my arm and saying to me, "You are safe. You are safe. It will never happen to you again. You are here to do great things." And honestly, these words were just nectar. You can imagine. So I went from being that hypervigilant to having these words being given to me that I was just lapping up. My husband then woke up and heard her talking to me. He didn't see it. Yeah. Now, Wayne is a typical bloke. Give him a bike and a pints and like a program about mending his car or his bike, he's happy. But he's very sensitive. And he was saying, "This is freaking me out. Someone's talking to you." But at the same time, there were also horrible voices saying, "Kill yourself, you bitch, you vile," awful, yucky voices. And I remember Wayne said to me, "But there's some other voices too." And I remember clearly saying, "But don't listen to those." There was clearly a battle of love and evil, fear going on.
So, okay, so your partner I'm trying to kind of work out in my head what's happening with that experience. So you're in bed at night time. Do you think you kind of come out of your body a little bit, or in a sleep state, and both you and your partner are in that state?
No, we were definitely fully in our bodies.
People at home will be sitting there thinking that. I'm sorry to ask an awkward question. But
no, it's not awkward. Ask a question. And this is what messed with our heads for a while, because Wayne had never had anything like this happen to him before, but she was definitely there. She was definitely talking to me. He could definitely hear her. He couldn't see her. What we came to terms with was that there was a battle going on between dark and light, if you like. I was choosing just to listen to the lights.
Okay.
And then she just disappeared, and we literally went to sleep as if it was the most natural thing ever. It was so bizarre.
Oh, that's beautiful. So do you think there's that natural correlation between mental health, that there is this battle between light and dark anyway within the person?
Absolutely. I truly do, because I honestly believe that if I had been more aware of all aspects of myself, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, before that happened, one, I wouldn't have been attracted an abusive partner, because I attracted that partner in. That's what I had to learn to take responsibility for. But B, I would have had such strong boundaries that he wouldn't have been able to have come into my life, and that wouldn't have happened. But saying that, I've accepted what's happened. I've forgiven myself. I've forgiven him. I didn't want to hold on to bitterness. But what was beautiful after that day, I never had another suicidal thought. And then every morning when I'd get up in the morning, I was given clear guidance on very simple tools and techniques to follow, which I started to do. And that created a methodology which I practice to this day and which I share with my clients and have done for 24 years now. And I'm seeing and continue to see just amazing transformations in front of my eyes.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
So that's why it's such a beautiful gift in an ugly box. I had to die to find that gift. And it definitely is a gift, because when I'm working with someone, if it's a one-off session where someone's getting soul guidance, or if it's someone who's going through a traumatic life event that they want some support and guidance to go through, I just know what questions to ask. I know exactly when I can push, when I sit back, when I pause. I just and give them so much strong guidance. I'm so connected that it's very hard to describe what I do with the work that I do. So it's quite hard to market it, really. But
you're a channel. You could argue
I am definitely a channel, but you know what we're talking about spirituality at the beginning before we came on air. Because I want to reach more people. I know I can't just be in that spiritual. I know some people don't understand what channeling means. My younger son doesn't understand that, and it's very hard to explain it. Someone who's for me to be able to reach the millions of people that need help, I need to be more mainstream. So I've been battling over the years with trying to get my brand right so that I can reach these people, because I vowed back then, me and my husband, I'll never forget my husband and I sitting at this table and him saying to me, one day you're going to help people. He said, I can see queues and queues and queues of people. Because we tried to get me help and we just couldn't get the right help. We just couldn't get the right person. We would have remortgaged. We would have done anything to have got me the help. And I said that I wanted to be that help, not necessarily for domestic violence, but for people who wanted to change, people who wanted that support but didn't know how to change, for people who felt disconnected, for people who feel that there's more to life than the life they live in, for people who are so stuck they don't know what to do. So they come to someone like me and I just, their mirror, and I just say, ask them pertinent questions. So that's why it's such a beautiful gift in an ugly box. So the first book I wrote took me 7 years to write. All my clients kept saying, I started off doing complementary therapies, energy work, crystals, angel therapy, trained by Doreen Virtue, bless her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's a name.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a name. 2005, trained by her, did a 2-year crystal course. I did my Reiki in 98 and shot onto, so practiced all that. And that was definitely a leapfrog, because my clients would say to me, I love the treatments, but I love your guidance even more. So I then stopped doing treatments and just started mentoring and offering guidance. And at the time I was working part-time in a hospice, and that taught me a lot, because I worked directly with the patients. So that taught me, and the staff, that taught me a huge amount of death and dying and the importance of being present. And my clients kept saying to me, you must write a book about your experience. So when I decided to write it, it took me just 6 weeks to write it. And I'll never forget, I didn't know what to call it. And we were away on a family weekend, and my brother-in-law, Ken, who's, Ken, bless him, he doesn't get spirituality at all. And he said to me, he said, it's obvious what you call it, Al. I said, what is it? He said, it's awarded by angel, awarded. So it's called Awarded by Angels.
I love that.
It shows because we are awarded by angels. So I wrote that. And then the second one is Bringing You Back to You, which is like the workbook, the manual of the tools that I practiced, all with little channelings as well. And then there's a little book called Get That Friday Feeling, which is a book about channeled messages. The idea of that is you can have that Friday feeling every day of the week if you learn to be connected and find your gifts and meditate.
Sorry, Alison, I keep getting, because I try to see it with spirit and get impressed with questions and stuff that would help people. And I've had one come in, and I'm sorry, I feel this is a really difficult subject in terms of.
No, it's fine, please, don't worry.
Because of your experience and what happened to you, did you ever, because obviously that gentleman, it's hard to call him a man because he wasn't a man when he did what he did. But how did you heal? Did you have a relationship with him afterwards? Because obviously he's the father of your son.
This is a thing, and this is what has amazed me as an individual, as a mom. The one thing that I was challenged with, the fact that I saw that I put my son through that. I took responsibility for that. I chose him as his father, and I was in a lot of pain about that. And then one day my sister said to me, "Don't you think he's punished you enough?" And at the same time, a friend said to me, who's now passed, Gail, said to me, "The best form of revenge is happiness." So I decided to take that path. And then I also recognised the bitterness and hatred and questions that I had inside me that were never going to be answered. I had to, because I kept saying to him every day, "Why did he do it? Why did he do it? Why did he do it?" And he was in denial. So I came to terms with the fact that I will never know why he did it, because I can't think like him. I can only think like I think. So that helped me. And then when Sam, in 1996, so 2 years later, Sam used to call Wayne, my husband, Wayne Daddy. And then one day he called him Daddy, which was just beautiful. He was playing with his dinosaurs and he called him Daddy. So Wayne said to me, can I adopt him? So we then went through the adoption process, but Graham was able to contest the adoption.
There's a lot of people at home who are tearing now, right, at that moment.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was very, very special.
Yeah.
So, but sadly, Graham abused our position and the legal system, and it took us 13 months to adopt Sam. I also had to adopt him, weirdly. And then I recognised that it would help Sam if he saw him, because he built him up into this monster.
Yeah.
And he kept having nightmares about this monster coming to get him. And basically, he was just a man who was quite a weak man. And I wanted to see that he was giving his power away to a so-called monster, but he wasn't a monster. He was a man who was weak. So we did do some visits where we were present and we had someone present with us. But then, as I expected, Graham let him down with those visits and didn't always turn up. So we basically said, if you let him down once, that will be it. Yeah. So I'm really proud of the fact that we enabled that to happen. Yeah. And how we got through it all, we'd say to Sam and our younger son, James, who would ask questions. If ever he had a question, I'd just answer it very honestly, no matter where it was. If it was in the middle of Sainsbury's, "Mummy, why did Daddy stab you?" Yeah. I would say, "I really don't know, Sam, but he was poorly in the head." I wouldn't, and I'd get people looking at me and talking. I didn't care about them. If my son wanted to know the answer, I would give him the answer, and I wouldn't mince my words. I'd just say it as openly, as honestly as I could. And in doing so, he's been brought up to be very honest and open. Yeah. And even though he's had this recent diagnosis, he's formed his own opinion of Graham. And I can't use that word on here because it might offend some people, but he's got his own opinion and he formed that himself.
Because at the end of the day, we all have individual responsibility for our own actions. We have to take that responsibility. You can't take
absolutely.
That on. You can't take on somebody else's actions and to blame yourself for that.
And what I've learned, it wasn't my job to heal Sam. It wasn't my job to heal other people who were hurt by this situation. It was my job to heal me.
Yeah.
It's not my job to heal my clients. I can facilitate their healing by showing them what worked for me. I'm working with a new client today who's recently left me in an abusive relationship. And bless her, it's made my heart so full today. She said, "I want to be like you." And I said, we use my story as an inspiration for something as a goal.
Exactly that. And that's what Stacey's just said. You're an inspiration.
Oh, bless you, Stacey.
There's a lot of people on here that are resonating with a similar experience to yourself and have been through a similar experience to yourself. But can we go back a little bit and kind of go into the nice bit where you went into the spirit world? Do you still think about that a lot? Do you still have flashbacks? Can I ask you a question? Did you feel, what was the love like? Did you feel the love? What was the sensation?
It was all. It was physical. It was an enveloping feeling of absolute, complete, and utter love. When I first held both of my boys, I had that. Thank God, I had that huge, overwhelming connection of love. Times that by, I don't know. I can't even. It was just pure love.
Yeah.
Pure love.
Yeah.
I can't say it any more than that. You can't even imagine it. It was just pure accepting. I was me, I was accepted for me, and I was accepting them for them. It was just pure acceptance, pure love, being held.
Being held. Okay. Being embraced. Feeling that love in itself is like being embraced. I mean, I'm cheating a little bit because I had a similar experience. I didn't go as far as you, but I felt going towards home and the love of spirit. And it does profoundly change you. It does.
I'm not the same. I don't even look the same. Even my facial structure looks different.
Really?
It's yeah. If I put a picture up now, you wouldn't think it was me. I just look nothing like.
But also, I kind of want to say from a mediumistic point of view, Anthony, I don't know if you feel this as well. You obviously all the healing you do, you have amazing energy.
Yeah.
And you can feel that vibrancy and that love coming from you, and that compassion, just not for yourself, but for helping others, and that drive to help others.
It never wanes. It never wanes. Do you know what my sister was saying to me yesterday? You just have kept going on and on, because it has been difficult. This is my business. It's lockdown was challenging. If you don't earn, you don't get paid, and there is that side of it. The side of trying to market myself in a way that will reach people. But it's starting to pick up again now, but I can't get. Every time I think, well, I'll get a proper job, I can't. I'm stopped from doing it because something else will happen, or I'll get a new client, or I'll have an opportunity to do something. But I'm noticing a pattern at the moment, and it's really exciting me. And the pattern is the 20 to 35-year-olds are waking up and getting this very, very quickly. And I love working with that age group. They seem to just get it. If I challenge them by something they're saying, and I'm working with an amazing fitness coach at the moment, and she's top of her game. There's no doubt about it. And I said to her, "Do you ever ask your body?" She said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Do you talk to your body?" And I taught her this technique to ask her body for a definitive yes and a definitive no. And she couldn't believe how simple it was. I said, because after the attack, I had to have ear operations because I was partly deaf from the head. And with that, I'd get vertigo, really severe vertigo. I'd have to crawl on my hands and knees.
Oh, wow.
And then one day I said to myself, why do I keep getting vertigo? And my body told me, because you're doing too much and your life is out of balance, which makes sense because that's spinning, life's out of balance. So straight away, I made some changes. I reduced my hours at work. I made sure I had a day where I could catch up with my jobs and just have a bit of me time. I was a young mum at the time. And you know what? I've not had vertigo since. And every time I'm starting to get ill, or I get ill, which isn't very often because my energy is so amazing, but I say to my body, why has this happened? What is showing me? What do I need to know?
Yeah.
So I just learn from it and grow from it.
Can we have some insight into a definitive yes and a definitive no?
Yeah, of course. So what I get people to do is I get people to be grounded. I'll get them to go into the breath and into the center. And then when they're in that place, by just connecting with the breath, I just say to them, whole self, we are now acting as one, in balance and harmony, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Please give me a definitive yes. And then you wait until you get a response. Thank you. Please give me a definitive no. And you wait until you get a response. So typically a heart fluttering can be a yes, a no. It can be a grabbing around the tummy or the solar plexus. But people get tingles, coldness, all sorts. She was blown away by this, and she's sharing it with the team at work, and her body's really talking to her now in such a way that's helping her job and helping her life. That's how simple the tools are.
Okay, because isn't kinesiology a very similar way, although they use symbols and tapping of the arm, but you're kind of talking to your subliminal or subconscious self, I'm not sure, about, getting in tune with the body and finding out what's right, what's not. But
That's why there's so much depression and mental illness, because people aren't in tune with themselves physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And I often say to men, particularly, it's good to see so many men now being connected. But I often say to men who aren't connected to the spirituality, you're missing out on 25% of your full. You can only reach 75% full potentiality by missing out the spiritual aspect of yourself. But if you learned to connect with that, you could be so much more productive, so much more connected, and therefore so much more in flow. Because I know when I'm more balanced physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, I just start flowing more and more. When I become disconnected from one of them, if I become overly emotional, overthinking, or don't meditate so much, or don't move my body so much, I'll be slightly out of balance and I won't be so much in flow. But as soon as I bring myself back together, and then I start my meditating, start my 5 minutes of silence, my breathing, my exercising.
so you have a routine, then, a daily routine, Alison?
Definitely. I think morning routine is important.
So we hear a lot of mediums, they talk about spending that time sitting in the power every day, 5 or 10 minutes. But yours is slightly different. It's just a meditation. And what else do you do as part of that?
Well, as soon as I wake up, I state 5 new gratitudes for the day. And that there won't be just, thank you for my bed, thank you. I won't get out of bed until I think of 5 new gratitudes for the day.
Okay.
And that will set me up. And I close the day like that as well, because I want to sleep having positivity and putting the day to bed. And then I will get my Herkimer diamond and I will sit and meditate with that. And I call upon my guides, who are called the Grand Collective of Light. And I ask them to work through me so I will be at my highest potential for the day. And then I will list of the people I'm going to work with and ask for the highest healing and highest information for the day for each individual. And I do that before a session as well.
I've got a question for Alison. Where did you get the understanding about the names of the guides? Did you get that via?
This is really interesting what happened here. So I've always been aware of some of the guides. I've never been one of these people who felt I needed to know the guides. I was very much more into the angelics, if you like, particularly after meeting my angel, who was called Sarah, by the way, she told me. And then I got to know about the angelics by working with Doreen Virtue, and that I really resonated with the angelics. And then in lockdown, I started to do weekly, sometimes daily lives to try and connect, because I felt very peaceful and very balanced during the lockdown. So I just thought there's a lot of people in fear. So I did my little bit by doing regular lives. And then April last year, I was doing a session and I heard, we are the Grand Collective of Light. And what was channeled through the spoken word was that the Grand Collective of Light have come together. They're a collection of light beings, of angelics, of guides. Because the world is in such a mess, they were collaborating. They were collaborating as one, and they were looking for clear and perfect channels, which is their words, not mine. They were looking for clear and perfect channels to channel through the information. So since then, we've been working together to spread their words. But I don't always say that to my clients. If I work with a client, for example, who's going through a breakdown or a relationship breakdown, and they're not at all connected to their spiritual self, I won't say, I've got the Grand Collective of Light here who want to talk. I will just use the words that they give me to use them. But everything they said from last April is just spot on. It's just fantastic.
I love that.
And it kept me on that high vibe rather than going to the fear that was coming up.
Yeah.
And have they had that conversation about the bigger picture, if you like, with your guides?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, so years and years ago, I kept having this same dream where I often do travel at night as well. So I was traveling over the earth and around the earth, and then I saw on top of the earth. And as I saw the earth, it then separated like that. But before it separated, there were givers and takers, very crudely put, but people who give and people who take. And as the earth split, the takers slid off the earth came back together, and the givers just spread over the earth. And I keep being reminded of that dream.
Oh, wow.
And that's what keeps my faith in what's going on, without going into the drama of what's going on. So whenever they keep telling me that, you know, the truth will come out, the truth will come out, the truth will come out, and to keep the higher ground. So a lot of spiritual people have been very, I'm trying to be tactful here.
Yeah. Okay.
Have been very vocal about what they perceive to be going on.
Yeah.
And I've challenged a few of them when they've asked me, because I've said, well, you're actually encouraging fear and the fear energy by spouting that. You know, what we need to change the world is we need to be the change we wish to see. So we need to hold those high vibrations of love, of compassion, of empathy, of stepping back, pausing, observing, looking at the bigger picture, looking at what our triggers are, learning not to react rather than respond. That when we become that person, we are able to hold more light, and that light is love and purity and trust, and then we will go evolve higher and higher. But as we go into fear, we go into separation, and I feel a lot of spiritual people are going into separation, but they're not aware of it.
But why is that? It's really interesting, isn't it? They call themselves spiritual, but yet they are kind of peddling fear.
Yeah.
Well, what the Grand Collective have told me, that as we move from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, we're moving from that. We're moving into grace and ease, and life should be more full of grace and ease, where we will instantly manifest. So a lot of spiritual people, they're still very much in the old paradigm. They're still doing the old routines they did 20, 30 years ago. They probably haven't updated. I remember I went to a spiritual church, and it was when I was 14, and it was a real shock to me what happened in the spiritual church. And I'm wondering if they're still doing then what they did to me. I was asked to do the ribbons, you know, where you have the ribbons in the basket.
Yeah.
I was 14 years old. They obviously saw something. So way before what happened to me.
Yeah.
And I was with my mom and my friend Gail, who passed actually. And they asked me to come in the centre. They got a man from the audience, sat him down, gave me the basket and said, right, choose what ribbons and place them on his head. So I did. And I just start saying stuff that just couldn't, all this stuff about this man, that he was suicidal. I couldn't stop all this stuff coming out. She stopped me in the end after people were obviously blown away. This man wanted to hear more of it and wanted to talk to me afterwards, but I was scared because I didn't know what happened. She didn't tell me anything about closing down. And when we got home, there were lots of activity in the kitchen, things moving, flying about. And I had a few nasty dreams after that because I wasn't taught about closing down. I wasn't taught, about what I needed to do, from cutting off and cutting the cords and not taking all this stuff with me. So I might be wrong, but I believe that a lot of spiritual people haven't evolved into these newer energies of compassion and love and truth.
But their life, the problem, what is spiritual? You know, everyone has a different definition of what it means to be spiritual.
They do. And my younger sons asked me that. And because I try and make things really simple. My belief of being spiritual is recognizing and understanding that I'm connected to everyone in some way or other. And I often say it's like a little grain of sand on the beach, but all that grain of sand. So if I start feeling horrible thoughts towards someone, they will feel that on some level, and that will also affect me.
Yeah.
But if I can be as pure in my energy, my love, and my devotion to living in the way that I strive to be, and I am that, then that is going to create change in others, whether they're aware of it or not, because they will sense that energy and they will want to know more.
Yeah.
That's how I see spirituality and connection.
For me, it's that karmic responsibility as well, and reminding ourselves of what we do to other people, we're actually really doing it to ourselves. If we are connected, as we all are, and what I'm doing to somebody else, I'm actually, so forgive me for saying this, the experience that you had, Alison, is actually doing that to himself.
Yeah.
That's,
It'd be interesting to see what he looks like now. I've got no idea, no clue, but all I know is I feel amazing.
I was going to say, you look radiant. So
Yeah.
whether you've got a big light under your chin, I don't know, but you look very radiant.
No, I haven't.
You
No.
have a lovely
I've
energy,
been-
and that really comes through of how you talk about the experience and how far you've come on that journey. It's amazing, and you sound a lot more spiritual than a lot of people that claim to be spiritual that I know.
Yeah.
Especially your 5. I mean, I don't do that. I wish I did. I got into the habit of doing that, and then you kind of fall out, forget, and you know, it's good to remind yourself that we should be grateful of our experience. I mean, I'm lucky to live in a very beautiful place in the world. You know, go outside and you see the green leaves and the blue water, the blue sky. It's beautiful. But I remember listening to a program on Radio 4 where they captured the last. It was a documentary on people that were suffering with cancer. They had a few months to live, and people that lived really fast lives. There was a guy who was a stockbroker who got up in the morning at 5 o'clock, finished work at 9 o'clock at night, and did the same thing for 6 days a week. Okay, he was a millionaire, he was rich, but he worked so hard, he missed life, and he was recording his thoughts about the last few moments of his life, and he said, I reconnected, and I just realized how green the trees are. I'd forgotten, you know.
But you know, you've hit the nail on the head, Paul. I worked with a young man last year. Funny enough, this young man was born exactly the same day as my youngest son, James, and his name was James. And I worked with him, and he was really not in a good place, and he felt totally disconnected. So I just would teach him how to reconnect with his breath, and I would teach him how to be present and to be in that full present moment, to bring all your senses into that present moment, you know, how you feel, what you can see, what you can touch, you know, to get in touch fully and wholly with how you are. And so I'd then do a meditation with him, and I'd a visualization, and I'd get him to visualize how he'd like his life to look. And at the end of his 12 sessions at the max he said, I feel like I've got a special power that no one knows about. He said, I'm walking around with a smile on my face. I see green that I've never seen green like that before. He said, and you've totally changed, you've totally saved my life. I didn't, but he did the work, but he thinks I did. But that's what he says to me now. He constantly goes for walks because he cannot believe how green it is. And I said to him, what you've done, you've become connected to you've reconnected to yourself by learning to be present. Yeah. And that's what gratitude does. It brings you in the present moment. Yeah. So I'm really grateful to this Herkimer diamond. It was 240 quid, and I bought it for my birthday last year, and I really shouldn't have. I don't buy myself a load of things, but I knew I really wanted this Herkimer diamond. And then when I got it all the way from Herkimer in USA, the Grand Collective told me that they wanted me to have this because this is how I can connect with them stronger. So I hold this when I do my work, so I can connect with what we're doing.
Is that more pure, that material then?
Say again?
Is that more pure, that kind of material?
Yes, the Herkimer diamond, you can only get it from Herkimer in America.
Right.
That's quite unusual to have a big chunk like that, but it just really opens up your channel. So if you're doing channel, it's great to have a piece of Herkimer to help you with that.
It seems to me, Alison, after listening to your unique journey, because it's not about a destination, it's the journey as always. It's like you've been reborn in some kind of way, through trauma, or brings great responsibility in a different way. And it's like it's not just fascinating, but it's like when you're talking, it's going through me rather than it's affecting at a cellular level when listening to you. But it's like you've just been endowed with a load of knowledge that they've given you. And it's like you're now got a journey to do in a different kind of way, which you've elegantly explained in such a powerful but beautiful way, I must say.
It's interesting, because I've got a memory that often comes back to me, and I've questioned why I get this memory. I understand it now. It was a couple of days after the attack that I call the awakening, by the way, because it did awaken me.
Yeah.
And Sam and I had to go and live with my parents because I wasn't well enough to look after Sam. I couldn't look after myself, let alone a child. And I remember lying on their couch, face down, because I obviously wasn't sleeping. I was disconnected from Sam at the time because he reminded me so much of Graham for the first few days until, that didn't stay with me, thank goodness. I was lying on the couch and I heard my mum and dad come into the room. They were bringing me a cup of tea or something. And I was convinced they were going to stab me and finish me off. That's how bad my mental health was at the time. And I remember flinching and then getting up and drinking this drink and just checking them out, checking that I was safe to drink this drink, with parents who loved me. And I remember thinking at that time, I could be sitting here naked because I'm not the same person. I didn't even recognise them as my parents, even though I knew they were my parents.
Yeah.
I have been reborn. Every thought I had from before was scrapped. I challenged every thought, every belief. And I often say to my husband now, to Wayne, how on earth did we get together after that, when you think about it? Because I must be so different to how I was when you first met me. And he just says, well, love is love. And, if it's meant to be, then it is meant to be. We have this strong connection.
Yeah.
But we both don't know how we did it, really.
And for you, Alison, to trust in another relationship as well must have been tricky too.
What was interesting, I would push boundaries all the time to see how far I could push him.
Right.
Until I recognised I was safe. But I was doing that for a good year. I'll be honest, I was vile. I would push and push and push and push until one day he said, look, I can't keep doing this. And then the realisation of I might lose this man who truly is the love of my life and such a soulmate. I recognised that. It was interesting. I talked about this today. If you think of a needle on a gauge, I kept going from victimhood to becoming empowered. And this needle would go back and forth. I remember that time when I said something to upset Wayne where I was pushing too far. And he said, look, I can't keep doing this. I decided I'm going to become empowered and own my own stuff. Because, I was taking the pee, basically. I was pushing him and pushing him. But clearly I was doing it to see how safe I was and to see what his boundaries were.
Yeah. Yeah, testing the waters.
Yeah.
Okay, so Stacey's asked how long did it take to find someone after the attack, Alison, and to feel loved and wanted? But you was already with your partner, wasn't you?
So Graham and I had been finished a while, and Wayne and I got together. We were together 6 weeks, and then he went away on this trip on his motorbike, and he was due to go 10 weeks, but he came back after 6 weeks after he heard. But I don't know how it worked, really, how we got together. We just did. But obviously, Sam was my priority. But Wayne was very patient, and we just did. I think my granddad had something to do with Wayne coming into my life, quite honestly, because he reminds me very much of my granddad, Sam. So I think Granddad in spirit made it happen.
Yeah.
And do you know what, Stacey? The beautiful thing is I do feel totally loved, not just by Wayne and my family, my boys, but by my clients, because doing the work I do, I can't help but ending up loving. I love a lot of people. And what I've learned is the more you love, the more you love.
Yeah.
That love just grows and grows and grows and grows.
Yeah. Sharon's asked, how did it affect Wayne overall?
Yeah. So he was really, really supportive. And then after he didn't have a breakdown, but he did suffer with depression. After I started to get well, he then crumbled and he had to have about 6 months off work. But we basically did the work together to get him well, and he did great after that. And he took responsibility for his own healing, if you like. He's very aware. He's very connected to himself, so he knows what he needs to do. And he's a man that needs his own time. He likes to go off fishing or on his motorbike. So if you needed to do that, I'll just go and do what you've got to do.
Yeah.
It helps that we've got similar values. Like main value is freedom, and so is his. So if I went off to do some work in another country, for example, for a while, he would support me. If he wanted to do something, I'd support him.
Yeah.
You know, it's so that, yeah, but he's great now.
It's the basis of a good relationship.
Definitely.
Giving each other that freedom to be.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So again, I know I keep harping on about that experience with the spirit world. Again, is there anything that's been long lasting in your mind about the experience? Is there anything you could take from that whole experience, or one specific thing?
We're all energy, and when someone dies, the energy doesn't die.
Yeah.
Because you can't stop energy.
Yeah.
So when someone dies, their physical shell is released. I died. I left my physical shell. I went home, loved it, came back. Would have been nice to have a chat with them a bit longer, to be honest. Came back, realised my physical body was a shell. But I try and get through to my clients. I'm trying to make energy more simple. We need to take responsibility for our energy, the energy we create through the cause and effect.
Yeah.
And that's what I would say visiting home taught me, as well as the love, knowing that I'm loved no matter what. And they know me inside out, and they still love me, then I'm pretty happy with that.
And what I love about you, Alison, is the empathy you have for other people as well. You put yourself in their shoes, especially if you're trying to help them and, you know, do your best, because the love that comes from that action as well leads to that perfect reaction as well.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? When I worked in a hospice, I wasn't a nurse, by the way, in the hospice. I looked after volunteers and did that sort of work. But what I learned in the hospice was, because I was such an empath, I would pick up on someone was feeling ill, was having chemo, I'd end up throwing up in the toilet while they felt better and I felt terrible. And I learned that to really help someone, you have to detach from their pain. You have to take a step back and look at it as if you're watching a film, without that connection, but still having that empathy and that compassion for their pain. But if I'm in the drama, in the pain with them, I'm not going to be able to help them. But if I can stay outside and watch the pain, look at what their energy is showing me and their non-verbal and verbal language is showing me, I can help them more by saying, are you aware you keep saying this, or you keep doing this? No, I'm not. Well, if you stop doing that, then maybe that will happen. So that's sort of
Yeah, people don't realise their behaviours and how that can impact what they manifest.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Elaine, again, I kind of wanted to go back to this as well. Elaine probably missed the beginning of the show when you described your angel. Elaine, hi Elaine. She's put, did you see the angels?
Did I see? Do you know what? This is absolutely beautiful, because my journey took me to Dubai a few times, and I was invited there to do some work there with people one-to-ones, and we had people queuing up, which is brilliant. I went with a friend of mine, and when I did a session for them, I clearly saw the angels in my mind's eye, but I'd hear them more. But if I work with them specifically, that's how I hear them, but sometimes I see them in my mind's eye. And I remember we did this one trip to Dubai, and I was absolutely shattered, probably working from 10 till 6, 7 at night, bang, 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 client after client after client after client, absolutely exhausted. And sitting in the airport, in Dubai airport, and you know, I suddenly had a craving for a really cold beer. Had to be cold, and I very rarely drink beer. And while I love a cold glass of wine, anyone knows me knows I love a Sauvignon Blanc. Just because you're spiritual, you don't have to stop eating chocolate and wine, honestly. But I had this craving for a cold beer. Hadn't had any alcohol all week, so this was like, so we went and got this cold beer and we sat down, and I could feel myself just beaming. I could feel my energy just beaming out. And I noticed that people were stopping nearby, stopping and staring. So I said to my friend, what are they looking at? What are they staring at? And then I heard, clear as anything, they can see your light. And then one after another, each archangel came in and said, "Thank you, Alison. I'm Archangel Raphael. Thank you, Alison. I'm Gabriel. And it was bang, bang, bang like that. And I just start crying, pure tears of joy. I didn't cry into my beer, thank goodness. Pure tears of joy. And I remember at that time thinking, oh my God, something special has happened here. And then they said to me, now will you accept your gift? And I just said, I will. I'll accept it now.
Beautiful. Very beautiful. Don't know what to say after that.
And tell you what we can talk about. I think this is where spiritual people need to wake up a bit. You don't need to sit in white linen chanting at 5 o'clock in the morning, being a vegan to be spiritual. And I think this is what puts a lot of people off. They feel that you have to be a certain way. You don't.
Yeah.
Find your own way. If it works, you know what food suits you. You know if alcohol or drugs suit you. You know what brings you out of centre, and you do what's right for you.
Yeah, again, Elaine's come out, but she's heard them singing twice.
Yes, yes.
Oh.
I get that a lot. It's very angelic. It's like crystal. If you imagine crystal chinking, it's very much like that. And I often get them singing. If I haven't done a workshop or any event for a while now, in-person event, but I will. I normally get them singing when I wake up in the morning. So when I get that, I know it's going to be a good event.
Okay.
I didn't get that this morning, though. I wonder why.
This is interesting. I'm a vegan, but my father was a great medium and he ate meat.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I eat meat. I don't eat much of it, but I love a good steak, and I bless the animal before I eat it. Is that awful? But that's me being honest.
I think Jo Bradley said that as well, didn't she? Anthony?
Yeah, she did.
As well. Yeah. She said, I'm right saying she said she smoked, but I can't remember. But my memory's terrible. But yeah, I'm sure she said she smoked as well. So it's about who you are in your heart, isn't it?
Yeah.
Person you are.
And also what your body needs. I went vegan for a while, and I've just felt so weak. And I remember this Chinese doctor saying to me, Alison, go home, get yourself a good steak and eat it. And that's exactly what I did, and I felt well again. I was shaking and I just felt so disconnected.
See, I've just tried going vegetarian. I'm 7 weeks in.
Oh, gosh.
The doctor said go and get some blood tests. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm still trying to hang in there. I'm trying to eat right food.
That's the question there. Sorry. I had a pink gold angel touch me on the forehead between my eyes with a thumb. Yeah, I'm feeling that's Archangel Uriel and Archangel Ariel, because sometimes I can merge their energies. So Uriel helps you see clearly what's in front of you, and Ariel helps you see the magic in life. So Carol, I will suggest to you that you're not clearly seeing what's right in front of you, and start appreciating even more, because I feel you do, even more what you have got rather than what you haven't quite got yet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Sharon's put how much she's in love listening to you. You're a wonderful inspiration.
It's Alison love Sharon, not Karen, but I'll be Karen if you want me to.
Yeah. If it helps. Yeah, bless. What she's put on here. I've missed a few other talk shows recently, but I felt drawn to tonight's show. I'm glad I listened to whoever told me to join in. I need this. Brilliant.
Oh, bless you.
Brilliant.
And guys, those of you who are new to the show or just pop in occasionally, there's so much. We've done so many of these, Anthony. We're talking about today.
Absolutely. Lots of different guests.
And there's a lot of information that may help you. Just jump onto our YouTube page, subscribe, and it's all free content as well. These people like yourself, Alison, have given up so much of your time to come and share and inspire people. We really appreciate it.
Oh, I've loved it. If it's helped one person, that's made me happy. So knowing that it's helped just a couple from the comments is my heart will be full again tonight. So that's wonderful.
Yeah. We can't thank you enough.
Yeah,
my pleasure.
We've had an hour already. It's gone.
Wow.
Yeah, so quick.
Wow. And thank you both. It's so lovely that men, who are down to earth and not, are real. are doing this. Thank you so much.
Well, we tried to be, Anthony, didn't we? We tried to be as well.
I'm hoping my boys are watching this. So if they are, Sam and James, I love you very much and bless you for watching.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, guys. Good to know you're watching. So, and it's good to know you're all doing really well. And we can't thank you enough. We feel that you've inspired a lot of our viewers as well.
Yeah,
Thank you, Alison. And just to recap, is there anything you'd like to say, just quickly, if someone is in a similar situation or in a mental, is there any advice you could give someone? Sorry to put you on the spot.
That's okay. Yeah, the advice I give to you all is just stop, place your hand on your heart, press very slightly and take some breaths in. Take a step back and look into your world. You will see with clarity what is occurring and what you need to do. Have hope and faith because there is something better that you cannot yet see.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful. Thank you, Alison Ward. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you both so very much. I'm going to sleep happy with full of gratitude. I'll have more than 5 gratitudes tonight now.
Awesome. Thank you.
So will we.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to be in there somewhere. That's awesome. Thank you.
Take care, both.
Thanks ever so much, Alison.
Thank you, Alison.
My pleasure. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, mate, what a wonderful lady.
I feel light as a feather now.
Yeah, but her energy, you could feel it coming through the screen, how much work she's done on her own journey.
Yeah.
She's healed herself, and now to be inspiring others is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And to come from, that kind of traumatic experience from the past to then be such a, like a leader to everyone really, as well as herself, is just fascinating and brilliant. Inspiration and to everyone really.
Yeah. So guys, we're now going to do messages. We had a bit of a faux pas last week, mate. We forgot to pick a winner.
When I was away?
When I was away, we forgot to pick a winner. So guys, please share. What we're going to do, if Anthony's okay with this, I'll do the one from last week and Anthony does this week's.
Yeah, so we're doubling up.
We'll pick 2 winners.
Yeah.
But we need people to share and share and share so we can get this out there. Also, just to let you know, guys, I put a little camera on here. So this is me back. This is how StreamYard looks online, guys. So you can see the comments. And I'm going to try and bring you guys in on the comments. And I'm going to click a link. And you come up in this bottom box where you can see the screens here at the bottom. And you'll come into the studio. And if we get this message for you, you can come and join us. Yeah. That'd be fabulous, mate, wouldn't it? Let me get that screen off. It's a bit weird.
And just make sure you click on the link, everyone, if that message is relevant to you to come in.
Yeah, mate. I'm going to go first because I can feel someone with me. I'm just going to post the link in. So if you feel it's for you guys, please come in.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Oh, it didn't do it. Hold on 2 seconds. Bear with me. Yes, I'm here. I'm there. Here we go, guys. So it should be coming up now. She's gone to YouTube. It's gone into
Facebook.
It's there. Okay, brilliant. It's in the Facebook as well. Brilliant. Okay, guys, I'm going to go first. Keep sharing. Let us know you shared as well, so we know who to pick at the end of the show.
Yeah,
we've got 2 readings to give away. First of all, I've got Mum here from Spirit. Mum is coming into Spirit. She's talking about. She's also I can see her physically as well. I know she would have had problems with her legs in the end. She's making me aware of her legs and circulation problems towards the end of her life. She wasn't light on her feet. She struggled with her movement. She's also talking about all the trips into hospital as well. I feel like I lived in hospital. Brilliant. Thank you for sharing, Stacey. I know she's mum as well. She keeps saying I'm mum here. Also, again, I keep seeing is hospital. She's taking me into the hospital. I'm seeing her experience of going into hospital. Okay. And thank you, Mary. She shared as well.
Thanks everyone for sharing.
I'm just going to keep going. Okay. Yeah. She keeps saying mum to me. I'm mum. I know you're mum, lovey. Who am I working with? Who are we going to? I've got mum in Spirit. Okay. I know. Okay. Okay, now she's talking about food as well. She's very traditional in the food that she created. For some reason, there's something about puddings as well. I'm not sure if it's a sticky toffee pudding, but she's making me aware of the puddings. And I've just had suet puddings as well. She's been making for her husband. I know she comes from a large family. She's making me aware of her family. Also making me, again, it's interesting, she's coming through with gratitude, because no link on this page. It depends on what page you're on, Carol. Try and go on to myself or Anthony's. It should be there. Yeah. Just going to paste it in again.
And the spiritual talk group as well.
Yeah, it's in there. I'm going to just put it in there again for you. It's mine, Anthony's, and my page as well. And also in Anthony's YouTube page. Yeah. It should be there. Okay. Also, she's making me aware of the, I know it's at least 3 daughters she's making me aware of. Actually, I feel that there would have been 4 daughters. She's making me aware of the 4 daughters. I'm not sure what happened to the 4th one, but I feel the 4th one isn't here. Have shared. Okay, there's 3 daughters she's talking about. I can take all of this so far. Amanda Price. Please jump in, Amanda. Also, okay. She's also talking about bingo. She was very much after her husband passed. I do feel she was on her own first. She's making me aware of that. She's also talking about going to bingo as well with friends. She was trying to make an effort to be sociable, she says. She was trying to make an effort to be sociable. She didn't always want it to be sociable. She said, I could have been difficult at times. She felt frustrated with her conditions because she had several conditions. I also keep hearing, I'm not sure she had cancer. I'm not sure if there was talk about her having cancer. It's not straightforward. She's given that to me. If you understand this message, Amanda, please jump in. She's making me aware of 3 women. I'm not sure if they're sisters or daughters. She keeps making me aware of the 3 women, but I felt there should have been 4. So it's really important. I'm just going to keep going. Amanda, if you're still listening, that would be great. Okay, correct. And the bingo. Okay, would you understand? There's this memory as well. She's talking about items of hers being left at the hospital that wasn't collected. Also, she's making me aware that there were some people that wasn't happy about how the hospital treated Mum before her passing. I know who this is. Okay, Stacey. Guys, both of you jump in. We don't mind. Okay. Just come on in. Also, okay, I'm seeing for some reason, again, she's showing me cooking. She's bringing chicken out of the oven. She's putting bacon on top of that as well. I know she would have loved her cooking. She really made a fuss of people when they come to her house. 4 granddaughters. One is not here anymore. Okay, perfect. Okay, Stacey, if you could jump in, we'd really appreciate this. Would you understand she could be difficult at times? She's making me she was difficult towards the end of her life. She was also quite sociable, but I know she would really, because of how poorly she felt, she would have had to have really tried hard to be sociable. Thank you. I know there's she's trying to give me, I'm not sure if it's Alison, but she's trying to give me the initial A that's connected into her as well. Okay. There's a link, but from Anthony's, but freezing. I'm so sorry, guys. I hope it's not freezing. We're just going to keep it going. No, it's not. It's there. It should be there, guys. There we go. You should just be able to click on it and come straight in. If you believe this is for you, you should be able to click on it. If you don't want to be seen, yes, was difficult at times. It's fine for you, Julianne. Unfortunately, it's not for you, Julianne, I don't think, unless you understand all this information. So just give me the name Carol as well that connects in here somewhere. I see it. Perfect. So people are seeing it. Again, she wants to apologize for this as well, that she could be difficult at times. Okay, Stacey. Okay, here we come. Hi, Stacey.
Hi.
How you doing? Thank you for joining. Oh, she just dropped out.
Oh.
She'll be back, I'm sure. She pressed a button and ping, and she's gone. Okay, she'll be back. I'm hoping she'll be back. Yeah, it's that tumbleweed moment. I definitely I can hear chuckles from the other side as well. So, Julie was her name. Okay, I'm not sure about. Yeah, please don't give names out in case we connect with a name. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda. I didn't pick that up, so I don't know. Okay. Here she comes.
Oh, here she comes.
Here she comes. Thank you
I think I'm back.
Well done, Stacey. Hold there. Don't go anywhere. Okay.
I know, I'm not going to.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, perfect.
perfectly. Thank you for joining us. Okay. Also, now I feel like I'm with you because I can hear her chuckling.
Bear with me.
You can't hear.
Is that better?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Let's get working.
I think my my headphones are messing up. I do apologise.
So Amanda's just put Julie. Did I say Julie? I'm not sure. Even I'm starting to doubt myself now. Okay, I'm just going to hang. Sorry, Amanda, if I did. Okay, here I go, Stacey. I feel I'm with you because I can feel her laughter, and I can feel there was a really not a wicked sense of humour, but she had a really good sense of humour. I know you would know that about her as well. And I keep prodding her. She's making me aware she wants to prod you as well. Have you been stuck or getting stuck at the moment and not moving forward? Because she's literally, as I connect with her, she's standing behind you now and trying to push you off that couch and get you moving. What we've been talking about tonight really resonates with her in terms of for you and moving forward, being positive about yourself, you know, trying to look at life in a positive way and moving forward. She keeps saying, don't look back. She's also making me aware of the baby in spirit as well. Would you understand that? The child in spirit. She's really making me aware that you're not to worry. She's here. She's here. Okay. She's here. All right. Also, there's more than one. Would you understand another one in spirit as well? There's another one.
I've got two in spirit. One was never born.
Yeah.
But
she's making me aware of two. Yeah. She's making me aware of two. Also, okay, thank you. She's also talking about the John in spirit. You would know of the John in spirit. John is over here. You wouldn't believe it, but John is over here. And also the Michael as well that connects to the John. I believe that father and son.
Michael, yeah.
Okay. Well, good job, she says. You really are. The last 6 months, you are being more positive. You are moving forward. Sometimes it feels like you're going backwards, she says, but you are moving forward. Would you understand the hospital messing up with bits and pieces with her in terms of towards the end of her life? Would you understand that? She wants to let all that go. I also feel there was possessions of hers that were lost, that she's telling me, that went missing. She's making me aware of that. There was a couple of little bits and pieces of hers that went missing was important to her. Sentimental value she's talking about. Would you understand this? Would you also understand there's also a picture of her as well that's gone missing? There was a lovely picture with her partner. Would you understand that?
No, I never knew. My great granddad.
Okay. Well, she's talking about there's a picture in a photo frame, in a white photo frame of them together.
Didn't know my great granddad. He passed long before I was born.
Okay. Well, I can't take this away. She's given me the picture with her and this gentleman. It looks like her partner in spirit.
No.
Okay. Also the A as well. She keeps giving me the A that connects in here. The A, the initial A. She did that earlier. She tried to give me initial A. It's really trying to push that forward. Also, she's okay. Would you understand? She's okay. The stroke as well. She had a mini stroke. The problems with as well. Thank you. Okay. And she says you've not been too well yourself of late. She's making me aware that you've not been too well yourself of late. Would you understand that?
Up here.
Okay. This is why she's resonating with what Alison was saying earlier. Okay. Again, right. She just said you're a real fighter, though. You're feisty. You're really feisty.
I get that from her.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Please take her love with you. Okay. Okay. She's trying to give you what looks like a card with a bear on it and hearts and hugs. Now, I believe...
Me to you.
Yeah. She's trying to give you that. Okay.
Yeah, me to you, Bears.
Okay. And The L as well that connects into here. The L. I believe it's a child. The L. Just hold on to that, can you, please? The L. Is there a Louis or a Leo or something like that connects in here?
Got a cousin, Lewis.
Okay. And not been great of late? Been struggling? Okay. She's trying to make me aware of him as well. Again. Okay. Again, it's all positive. All good things are coming in here. Really, all positivity and real good things moving forward. Okay. Okay. And who's been playing up as well as a child that's been playing up, playing noise, and it's so annoying. She's just sitting back and laughing.
My nephew.
There's some
my
kind of
nephew.
Okay.
My mum's fiance's, but just put loads of flowers in the courtyard, and my nephew's been kicking the ball and everything else.
Well, we'll
So,
say
yeah.
God bless to him. We'll say God bless to him. And I want to give you all her love. Okay. All her love. Okay. Wonderful, strong lady. And the connection that she brings in. She's so much power. And she just wants to kind of push that through to you. She really was quite pushy trying to come through tonight. And I'll please take her love. Please take her love. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. No, thank you. I'm glad I joined tonight. I don't know who was telling me. It must have been my nan. Get in.
Yeah, pushing it. But the mum as well, that she told me she was mum really strongly. Being mum was really important to her.
She had 4 granddaughters. She played mum to one of them. That one passed away with her heart as well.
Yeah. Okay. That makes it perfect. Okay. Again, I'll just leave her all her love with you.
Oh, thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you for coming on, Stacey.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
See you again soon. Thanks. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Anthony. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Awesome. Mate, over to you.
What a brilliant one that was.
It's always nice when people come in and listen on the link. We love that.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant when they come in, isn't it, as well? Right. Okay. Since you've been just on fire there in that last message, I've got this gentleman who's literally been by my side, but he is so literally giggling, very jovial man. As he presents himself to me, is a very fun-loving man, very happy soul. And as he comes in, he's just a barrel of laughs as well. I do feel he's a bit of a comedian as well. He's just I can just hear him chuckling away all the time. As he presents himself to me, he's not a slim man. He's not a slim man. So he's definitely the opposite of that. But I feel that this gentleman, he's making me aware that he lived life to the full in the way that he felt that he would live life to the full, if that makes sense. As he comes in, I do feel this is a father figure to someone. I want to say a father figure rather than a father, because I feel he's if he's not a stepfather, he's also like a substituted father as well for someone else, which is quite interesting. Rather than blood related, it's more like a step or a half. In that respect. So this man makes me aware that there's more than one family that he's connected to. Right. But as he comes in, I do feel there's a connection with vehicles. So whether he was like a driver or some kind of worked with vehicles in some kind of respect. I'm not going to make this up, but I do see lorries or transits or something to do with vans or something like that as this man comes in. But I am really, really drawn towards his stomach as he's come in. I feel there's some kind of issue. I'm not a doctor, but it makes me feel like my stomach's like a washing machine. So whether this was a cancer condition or something to do with the bowel that took him over, this is what I do feel very strongly from this man. I feel that he's quite a stocky man as he presents himself to me, and he's quite thin on top as well. So I do want to say that he's either thin on top or going bald or thicker with the hair on the sides as well. he is a gentleman that looks older than his actual age, but he's actually got a younger age to what he looks like physically, and he's making me aware that he did deteriorate towards the end of his life. I don't feel he died quickly. I do feel it was drawn out process with this man, and he was a real fighter in respect to what he was suffering with. But at the same time, I do feel that he kept a lot of things. He's saying to me, he kept a lot of things to himself to not worry people, especially his immediate family. Anyone take this so far? I'm just going to keep talking.
Yeah, nothing yet, mate. No, comments. No comments. Hold on. Yeah, no, sorry, mate.
No, fine.
Yeah, carry on, bud.
I just feel this man had definitely had complications as well with the stomach. I am getting drawn around the bowels. I have said that, but I just still feeling that strongly from my system. And also swelling of the legs he's showing me as well. So whether this is fluid or water retention or something, and he is making me aware of medication as well. Quite a lot of different types of medication as well that this man was taking as well. I can hear Mike's there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. As this man comes in, I do feel there's more than one brother in the family as well. So whether he's talking about his brother or mention a brother that's still physically alive, because I'm getting that pull towards the family that he wishes to talk about as well. And also, for some reason, I am seeing an interest or a fascination with what's this? Oh, Heather, sounding a bit like your stepdad, Heather. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna, if it is, then fantastic. No one else is coming in at the moment.
Yeah, see how it goes.
Do definitely feel this is a pull towards a gentleman that he wishes to talk about as a brother as well. I do feel this man used to keep a lot of things to himself. So I don't know whether things were found that, or things were, let's say, secretive, if he was secretive a little bit, because I feel he's saying to me after he passed, there was things that was found out in the family. So whether they were documents or secrets or something. Heather, okay. Did you want to come in? Do you want to follow the link? Oh, okay. Facebook user.
I got this from Caroline Higgins. Can't take description of jolly man, rather not large. Related to medication, swollen legs. Okay, yeah. Now we're not sure.
No, definitely jolly. Definitely, I can't take that away.
Guys, just jump in. We'll know.
Yeah, jump in. More the merrier.
Pick it up. Yeah.
Happening now. Okay, Heather. Great.
Oh, nice to see you, Heather. If you can get on, it'd be great. I'm just going to copy the link in again.
Very smiley man. He's just not. He's also got rosy cheeks as well when he laughs. It's like he blushes a bit. Like when he laughs, it's like his face goes. He's saying his face goes hot and gets a little bit red. Bless him. But genuinely nice man as well. But I do feel that he kept things that people didn't know about as well. So there's a bit of some skeletons in the closet there, kind of thing. But I do feel this is more to do with. He's also talking about money as well. Can take everything apart from. No, he's showing me vehicles, so that is quite specific. Can't take that away, Denise. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
there's an understanding about vehicles, whether this was to do with him or he's talking about people around who's physically alive, who's got connections with vehicles. That could be that as well.
And he's sitting in bed, mate. That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to have the camera on as long as we can hear your voice.
Absolutely.
We don't want to see anything. We don't want to see any bare skin, mate.
No. He used to drive vans. Okay. So it's between you then. He had lots. No, it's not cars. This is to do with vans and lorries. But that's absolutely fine. She can't get in.
I don't know why. I've shared the link about 15 times. Funny, it works for some people. It don't.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's between Heather and Andy at the moment. So he used to drive vans. Can you understand it being white transit vans, Andy? And if it's not, it's definitely to do with like not as big articulated lorries, but something in between, bigger than a van but smaller than a lorry. I don't know what that is. You would know.
Maybe. What does that mean, Sean? You can take some of this information.
and I am doing the job he used to drive.
Rowan B's put
Heather's in.
Oh, Heather's in. Here she is.
I need you to come in, Andy, as well, because this is between both. But hello, Heather, again.
Hello.
And what can you take so far from this lovely man?
Most of it, actually. And
Right.
there could be a very good reason why if it is who I think, it could be a very good reason why that's happening today of all days.
He's also talking about there's before we go back over what's already been said, because this man is a character, and I just feel that he's so jovial, and I just see him and I can hear him laughing. And can you understand the rosy cheeks when he used to laugh as well?
He had two sides to him, Anthony. He had that jovial side, but there was a darker side to him as well.
Right. Okay. So would you understand the darker side being secretive?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Because I feel like either he's doing it on purpose, because I feel he is, but it's like it's like I've got two faces. I've got it's a bit like the yin and yang, or the happy and sad entertainment symbol, the sad face and then the happy face. It's like and also he's making me aware that he would put on a face, he would put on an act, the way he would act towards certain people as well. So he would pretend to like someone, or pretend to not like someone to get a reaction, or I just feel he's quite a complex character. That's what I get as well.
Yeah, he was.
And can you understand the secretive things that were found, either documents or things to do with money that was found?
Yeah, yes, money especially. That's why I said it's happening now. It's happening like literally for me. It's like I've sort of had I'm going to say major shock today that I found out, and it does concern money, and it's all been done very secretively as well.
Okay, and this would be an understanding with what this gentleman is saying to me in spirit about the money, would be the same concept of the money that is what you've had in regards to a shop today. So it links. That's what you're saying, yeah?
That's absolutely,
Fine. That's just, I'm sorry, I'm not getting confused with what he's saying, what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Okay, that's fine. And he's also telling me about documents and stuff. I keep seeing like documents either in a plastic sleeve or in a folder or file that's in a drawer or something like that. That's been printed off a computer and it's filed away. But it's to do with either the same conversation that he's having with you now, but that you would know there's some kind of legal documents to do with this as well.
I've done that today. I've had to start doing things at work today, and I've got papers put away in a plastic folder.
Okay, and that's brilliant. Okay, well, it's not, but from an evidence point of view, from Spirit, absolutely fine. Can you take the vans or the lorries with this man? Because I know we've got another guest another listener who can take that. Can you take that with this man?
Not immediately, no.
Right. So I might have two people here, for one for you, one for him. But that's fine. That might be something else. Right. Can you take the bowel problem this man would have had?
Yes.
Right, around the intestinal tract.
Yeah.
Like some kind of cancer or some kind of colitis or something of that description around the bowel.
He did have colitis. Yeah, he did.
Right, thank you. I did get the right word.
No, he did.
And I just feel that this man would have actually it put a brave face on, but it's suffering inside, kind of thing, in more ways than one.
That what you said earlier about he would keep things secret and not tell you, like when he had 2 heart attacks during his lifetime, and each time he was feeling so severely ill and he just didn't bother to mention it to anybody. Not even my mum was alive at the time, and he just kept it all completely quiet until it was like, oh God, call the ambulance quick, kind of thing. So he just didn't discuss it
and leave it to the last minute, kind of thing as well. But he's also saying that it's just really strange, this man, because not saying he's strange, but he comes across like these two people. But it comes across like, I want to be like the center of attention, and I want to be fun and laughing and jokey, and I can see his rosy red cheeks like blushing because he's laughing and showing a lot of happiness, and I want to wind people up as well. I want to sort of, see if I can get a reaction out of someone as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it kind of does, but it wasn't always done in a very nice way.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Whether that's perception versus reality, but that's what he's making me feel like. Whether you liked it or not, I'm going to do it anyway, even if someone doesn't like it. That kind of thing. So it's a bit of a little devil as well. For some reason, I want to put. I know I'm wearing a suit jacket, but I want to put a jacket on this man as well. So I want to be smart, but then I want to be casual at the same time. So it's like he's giving me like I want to dress up when I go out to social do's and things, but then at the same time I want to be just relaxed and wear what I want. So it's like he's showing me again as two people.
Yeah, he wasn't great at dressing up. I'm not quite sure about the dressing up, but he was kind of like any old things, and he wore the same scruffy old coat for years, kind of thing. So he would dress up if we go out. So for instance, when we went to a family wedding, he'd put a suit on then, and he would do it.
Right,
but he was happier off being casual.
Okay, I'm going to say two reasons why that was mentioned. There's one thing about he's saying, do you remember the scruffy jumper?
Yeah.
Remember this, and it was either torn or it was like really rough around the edges, around the cuffs or the collar, like the thread was being pulled out, but he'd still wear it. Can you understand that jumper? And it's like it's patterned, like in striped or something. It looks like browns and reds or something. That's that kind of thing. I might be getting the color wrong. I'm colorblind. Forgive me. But at the same time, he's making me aware of when he's dressing smart, like being part of like a gentleman's club or a conservative club or something like that. In that respect as well. Can you understand that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So it's not the wedding; it's the club he's referring to.
It's maybe, it could,
And it's all men there. There's no women. He's saying.
Yeah, I know what the club is. Yeah. It's funny enough because he used to own a snooker club, so it was, but it was like it was all men,
right.
All men and all sort of like darts, snooker, slot machines. It wasn't a woman's place at all, but he owned and set up a snooker club from scratch.
Okay, I do feel this is a gentleman that I might have picked up before when we did a reading a while ago. I'm not saying it's the same gentleman, but there's a connection. I don't know why, but I just see like trilby hats and gangster kind of stuff now with this man as well. So I don't know if there's part of gangs or something like this. And I am getting to for some reason I'm now seeing I've got weapons in my hands as well, like guns and a knife in one hand. So I don't know whether he's trying to paint a picture in there's a bit of a shady kind of background to him as well. Can you understand that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I won't go into detail on that one then.
Yeah, just don't upset Heather.
If you can take that, that's brilliant. And I'm not gonna mess with him. It seems like if he likes you, you're his best mate. If he doesn't like you, then you're not going to be around anymore.
No, quite right.
Kind of
he was very much sort of like, if people don't want to talk to, sorry, I can say this on there. He said, if people don't want to talk to me, Sodom sort of thing, let them get on with it. Yeah. You know, he was very much like me or don't like me. I couldn't care less one way or the other sort of thing. He was a bit like that.
I don't know what this is, Heather. This is me. We got this at the Arthur Finney College, didn't we, Paul? Where you have to really sometimes put your head on the block. But in this sense, I don't know what this is, but I'm just going to say this. This is. Can you understand the milkman or the milk float? This is really strange, but it's given me a person delivering milk from a milk float. Or
yes, I do. Yeah, I do understand it. It's way back into my sort of like childhood days, but yeah, it is. I do understand it. It was a part of a business that he had.
Right.
Yeah, and it was in those old days when the milk float came round, and it was like the crates of milk delivered and all that. It was, yeah,
and it's delivered like that, and there's milk bottles, and I can see the silver tops now. Blue, red, and the others.
Yeah.
In that respect, okay. I'm going to cut this now. I don't want to because I feel like this is your life for this man. The red book's coming out, everything. But he's a proper character, and I'm glad that I've got such a different kind of character that's come through.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thanks ever so much, Heather, for coming through as well.
Heather, before you go,
yes,
can you see the comments? What people have said?
Yeah, some of it. I can see where people are asking questions, but I can't see that they're online. But I can see some of the questions, and I can only see that there's about 5 people online, but there's probably usually a lot more, isn't there? So,
Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to 7 different pages. So there might be 5 on one page, there might be 20 on another. So yeah, we're going to different destinations. So Louise can't see a link. So it depends on what page you're going to. At least 4 or 5 of them, we definitely do put the links in. Yeah, Julie's got 14 on one. So yeah, it all depends. So we have 7 of them. So what I was going to say was, if you can see anybody that's shared, can you pick a name for Anthony or for me?
I see. I can't see it at the moment. Shall I come out? Yeah. I can't see it while I'm in the studio, but I can see them when I come out.
Oh, okay. Maybe. Okay. I was gonna say I was gonna get you to message, but I thought it was gonna be a good idea, but technically it's just bombed. Never mind. But we can pick one. But thank you for coming in, Heather. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me in.
Awesome.
Thanks, Heather. Lovely to see you again.
And you too. Take care, guys.
Take care, guys. Take care.
How do I get out again? Oh, Liz, there we are.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Awesome. So, shall I pick one for you? You pick one for me.
Before we go on, I just want to say, Andy, I think there was a connection there for you as well, but there was 2, so I had to go with one. But I know you was accepting the vans and everything, but I'm not disputing that contact wasn't there tonight for you as well. Okay, just thought I'd say that. Yeah.
Okay, mate. Brilliant work, as Julianne said. Awesome. So, can we? I'll pick one for you. Pick one for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna pick Amanda Price for you.
Okay, brilliant.
Well done, Amanda. You can pick one for me.
Yeah, well done. Thanks. Congratulations, Amanda. And for you, Paul, Tess Dennis.
Awesome. Okay, awesome. Well done, Tess. Congratulations. If you get us drop us a line on Messenger or on Facebook, however you want to do it, we'll get back to you ASAP.
Yeah.
Also, next week we have another lovely guest. We've got the lovely Sandy Ingham, medium and psychic artist. Really excited about that. Yeah, she's a very famous lady, and she's also agreed to work live. So that could be good. And possibly link in with someone before the show.
Oh,
so yeah, she'll be working with her guide as well. So check out her Facebook page. She's got a Facebook group, Sandy Ingham, medium psychic artist. I know she was talking about she's done a documentary as well. She's appeared in theatres and done demonstrations and worked all around the world. So she's agreed to be in our little spiritual corner and spiritual talk next Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. So guys, from now until next week, have a good weekend from me and Anthony, and we'll see you next week.
So take care, everyone.
Take care, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.